Start our meeting here at 4:30 p.m. Brian, you have the attendance for today. Brian did send out right before 4th of July, the June minutes. He also gave everybody a copy. Did anybody have a question or concerns or additions, subtractions? I have a motion to approve our June minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Chuck strung in. We'll give Chuck the second. June minutes have passed. Do we have any public or guest input?
Columbus BMX,
Okay.
TO track operator.
Yes, sir.
So we had our state race. We had about 60 motos, which doesn't mean much to you, but we averaged about 2,500 people at our track.
Wow.
So we had a very good turnout. It was a good race.
Parking was,
Parking was out of it. So yeah, we had up by the pickleball courts, and then we had all our tents down below.
Right.
And then with Rich making us more room over on the other side, it worked out well. So, other than that, I was just letting you know what's going on over there.
any issues or things that you need right now that you know
Not right
of?
now. We're actually really good. With the weather holding, we're still racing Wednesdays and Saturdays. So as long as we keep up and the weather holds, we'll just keep on racing until it gets cold.
Okay. We haven't had that like magic. Hopefully we're gonna try to avoid that where we have three things going on at once. It's always good if you guys can share your schedule, obviously. You know, so we can stay on top of our schedule so we don't have a big crash. I am gonna be asking tonight about the crosswalk, what the situation is there for overflow parking. Supposedly there's gonna be a softball tournament there, a smaller softball tournament this weekend, but pickleball will be going too.
Well,
So we'll see how that works.
And for your information right now, with the pickleball courts full, and I've already seen them full, you're taking up 3/4 of that parking lot.
Got it. Okay. Did you hear that, Rich?
I did.
Okay, and we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
So, and I knew,
They're usually gone by 10 o'clock in the morning.
okay,
Then it starts filling back up in the evening.
Right, and then with no lights, they won't play, so I mean, until.
past 9 o'clock, it's pretty, yeah.
About 6:30 in the morning, it's full.
Huh. Yeah, they get the earlier it gets the warm and the coolness. So nothing else that you can think of that
We're
you
good
need?
right now, thank you.
Okay, if you, like I said, you know where we're at, you can always reach out anytime.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, anybody else have any questions? Okay,
I'm sorry, yes, I did.
yes.
When do we officially open pickleball? Or have we?
Okay. This past weekend, my wife was on Facebook and she said, "Oh, I thought you said the pickleball courts weren't open." I'm like, "They aren't." She goes, "Well, there's people playing on them right now."
Right.
So we did not get the memo about the pickleball courts being open. When I talked to Rich last, it needed a final approval from Case Construction, which Rich said that was kind of a formality, but it still needed to be done. And then
Tomorrow morning?
I saw a post
Now,
later
now
from,
you also have a permit. And legally, they have to turn that over with what they call a certificate of occupancy.
I will forward all those questions to Tony London because he's the one that posted on Facebook that Case Construction said it was okay to go play.
Now, like I said, that is for a building. A pickleball court may be
Maybe
different.
I don't know.
Maybe different.
They
But-
just need the surface to cure, that's all.
Yeah, and I
There's 2 of them shut down.
But I hate to see them on it if they were still painting and working on it too.
So one day, I mean, I had no notifications. Rich said he found out, what, Sunday evening, he said?
Correct.
Okay, so he found out late Sunday evening.
Paint wasn't even dry and they were on it.
The paint was dry.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
open.
it's 24-hour cure.
Okay.
So it's open. I don't know how we're managing the gate there, how we're doing any of that. We have no signage up. We have,
First served?
well, we don't have we have a paddle thing, we have sign or a paddle thing that they put their paddles on to reserve the courts, right?
Yes, they're sitting in my office. We're waiting for them to get approval, but I couldn't get them out there because I was on vacation.
We just weren't informed that we needed to have that stuff ready to go.
Yep.
So there's
Well,
no
are we-
signage,
Are we,
there's nothing,
are we trying to designate parking?
we decided on our last, we weren't
I
gonna do
didn't think
that.
we were.
Okay. Well, yes, technically we are, if we have a crosswalk that we have overflow parking. That would be our designated parking for any kind of overflow,
Yeah,
so.
no, I meant just,
Well,
we're
also-
dictating pickleball's here
Yeah.
and BMX is here.
We're also working on, getting bids to put some kind of a fence down along that walkway
I'm in a meeting.
where you got the big stone down here on the side, so somebody doesn't fall in, down in there. Have we got any bids on that, Rick, yet, Ricky?
I got one that's supposed to be to me by Monday from Lucas Fencing, and I got one from Case.
Okay, but that's a work in progress,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Okay.
Cause it's, we don't need somebody falling down in there.
That would not be good.
You been out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know where we were at. I think I was getting ready to do Dunn Stadium.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Sorry, no, you're fine. That's just was part of it. So Adam could not be here to see, but he did send me a report. This information was current up to June 30th. So concession sales in 2024 were $78,991. Currently, right now in 2025, it's $49,614. It's
49,000
down
how much?
49,614.
Rain out.
That's down 37%, and it's all rain. Tropical snow sales, in 24, it was 11,569. Currently, it's 8,800 and he doesn't have I assume it's 80. He has 3/8, whatever, minus 3,381, whatever that is from that 11,569.
That'd be about 80, or whatever.
So it's down 29%. And then, total sales, we are at $90,560 in 24, currently at $57,802. That's down 36%.
What was the, last year's total again?
$9,560.
90,560.
Rich,
Yes.
make
Yes,
sure
sir.
when Brian gets done with the minutes, make sure the commissioners get those minutes and they understand.
They do, and they look at them.
Okay, this is one that you're gonna need to point out to them though, and make specific, let them know how serious this shortfall is. So they might skip over the meeting minutes. I'm saying make a separate effort, send them an email with Adam's report so that they have that. Cause that affects our operating income.
Good point.
Gotcha.
And he's got on here, rain is taking a toll on our numbers.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as just forwarding Adam's report to them.
Yep.
And the county council.
Yep, I have the report.
Okay.
So here's some other notes from Adam. He said fall league signups have begun for the girls' league. They expect another good turnout. He said the pickleball courts are packed. Wednesday evening, there were 20 to 25 cars in the parking lots by the courts. He said he talked to a few players and all the feedback has been positive so far. He said this weekend will be our first softball tournament with the courts open. We're hosting 26 team if Mother Nature cooperates. We'll be monitoring the courts and parking lot to make sure there's plenty of space for everyone. So that's
going on this weekend.
that's going on this weekend, yes. I don't know what the weather's, there is Sunday, I think it's supposed to have a little storm.
Well, I mean, we've talked about parking and amenities.
We're not racing at all. So if they just tell them to park down below.
You don't have any activities this weekend?
None this weekend.
But
And that opens that up.
there'll be a time where we're gonna have them all three going.
Correct, 100%.
Did you
But
hear
I'm
that,
like, if
Rich?
you need something for tonight.
Yep.
Or this weekend.
Okay.
Well, I think once we get to that part of the meeting that we talk about what signage we really do want.
Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, anything that's right. I don't know of anything else going on at Dunn, except for I just know I've been out there a couple times with softball going on when we've had good weather. But like I said, I know early on, the weather just stunk for games. And of course, we get much rain at all, it pretty much, those dirt fields just don't hold
Quite the
water.
contrary to rain, the 4-H fair was a thump.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't very good at all.
All the button, not a bit.
That was a heat deal.
It was too hot.
He's from out in Texas.
Yeah, no kidding.
That was crazy.
All right, anything else for Dunn Stadium or BMX? And like I say, pickleball, I really can't address because I don't know much about it. It's there. So, all right, we'll move on to Heflett Park. Bob, what do you have for us?
Good.
Anything? Anything happening up there? Okay, we got some more stuff here later on, so stick around. Cora's not here from the Bartholomew County Extension
How's she doing?
Office.
I wanted to send a report. I talked to her the other day. I called her because, well, I miss her because she's a good person, but she'll be back soon and the baby's doing great and she's doing good.
Good,
Good.
good. Rich, I put you down here. Do you want to wait or do you want to just get your stuff out?
I probably will get my stuff out if you guys don't mind because I may get called away here shortly.
That's fine.
Okay. Why don't you go through what you got? Well, I'm going to start with my first thing I had here. So last Saturday there was an incident at Heflin, and I got called and I went up there around 10:30 at night. So it was after the manager's hours. Um, and Bobby did come up later on so we could get a handle on it. I'm going to give you a brief. I do have an incident report. But unfortunately I left it at the at Heflin when I left that night because it was, I don't know, Bobby, was it 1 o'clock in the morning when we left?
I don't know.
It was late.
I was tired.
It was real late. So, uh, we had an incident at Heflin last Saturday around 10:30 in the evening. I was given a call that people were renting the shelter house were lighting off fireworks. They were asked to stop lighting the fireworks, and when they did, they accused Tony's wife of assaulting them. There was liquor involved. Everybody from the guests were inebriated, and it really infuriated the husband. He was loud. Um, it took a little while, but I diffused the situation. I got the husband and they said, "Well, we'll call the police." And I welcomed them to call the police, and they said they did, but they never showed up. Um,
Yeah, they did.
no, they didn't.
They were down there for that rescue.
Well, they didn't show up for that. Let's put it that way. Uh, but I got him in the office. We wrote up an incident. He was very happy with the incident report. It was something that was blown out of proportion because they asked Bobby if they could do fireworks. He initially said yes, then came back and told them no, they cannot. And they say he didn't, but I know he did because I have a witness to that too. So um, I diffused the situation. He went away happy. He walked away, no problems. And they both apologized to me for getting upset over something that they weren't supposed to do. But at the same time, while we were there, uh, there had to be 10 police cars, fire trucks, ambulances, rescue teams. Some lady got off on a sandbar and I don't know if, I still don't know if it was from our park. Did you ever find that out,
It
Bobby?
was from Blue's Canoes.
No, this is when we were
Oh,
up
that
there.
was two before that.
No, the
Yeah.
one when we were up
There
there.
was multiple incidences on the river.
The one when we were up there, she was not from neither one. She was just on by herself.
But they didn't want to talk to us.
Yeah.
We try all the time. They won't talk to us. We're nobody. So,
Who are they?
but they,
The rescue team, the water rescue people.
What?
The water rescue people, they don't want nothing to do with us. They want us to go away,
Yeah.
Oh,
but they wanna use our boat ramp.
Okay.
Who heads that up?
I don't know.
German Township.
When they were out there the first time,
Fire
it was
department?
sheriffs and
Yep.
everyone else.
Okay.
I could see.
I'm
if
on the
you were-
advisory board up there. I will inquire about this.
Yeah, I mean, in their defense, I could see a million people asking questions when they're in their process of doing their job. Now,
But when you approach.
granted, we have our land there and we have right to ask questions, and I think Jim said he'll follow up, but I'm just saying, in their defense, they probably get a zillion questions, so.
But when you
Well,
walk up-
I have it marked down to talk to Chris West as well, who's the trustee for German Township.
Yes, he is.
Well, I mean, if we approach and we recognize who we really are, then they should have to talk to us, let us know what's going
I'm
on.
gonna work on that. So I've got that on here too.
So, I
So,
mean, you know, because what if it's one of our people? We wanna know.
I've
We
got
can
something
fix
on here.
this. This
Yeah.
is, this
Yeah,
is,
that's-
this is easy to fix.
The people you
It's
talk
one phone
to,
call.
they just need direction to
It's one. phone call.
communicate with you, really. That's all it is.
We will
I thought
take
they
care of it.
dropped in at Newton a lot of the time. No?
They,
Well, if it's upstream from there, they like using our boat ramp.
yep,
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
How often they use your boat ramp?
they were down there 3 times that day,
How many times since you've been on board?
That's the first time I've seen
the
it.
first 3.
Okay, Rich.
Okay, so, but I think the incident is behind us, but there is an incident report at Heflin that I filled out and had the guest sign.
What did you do?
Where is it out there?
It's sitting on your desk, Bobby, in your office. I had to use a yellow pad of paper because there was no incident reports there. Lisa threw them all
I
away.
was just in there yesterday and it was not there.
Well, Bobby, it was still on the notepad sitting on your desk.
You guys can figure that out when you get back.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Let's keep this meeting moving, please.
Okay.
Go ahead and go with your notes. Oh, sorry, I have a note here. Mr. Mahoney, Newton Park.
Yes, sir.
Not only did we get the slab donated, they're gonna build the shelter house as well.
Wonderful.
Oh, wow.
That's wonderful. Appreciate it
I
very
just
much.
confirmed that today, as a matter of fact.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So they start I didn't write the date down here. I got it in my emails. It's either the 21st or the 23rd of July they're starting.
I thought you told me first of all it was 25th, sir.
What's that, sir?
You told me the 25th.
Again, I didn't write the start date down, but it's that
All right.
week.
That's fine. Anytime you start, I'll never complain.
Thank you, sir.
Why do they agree to put it up? We paying them to do that?
No, they're doing it as a community service.
And who is the corporation?
You would ask that.
It's a roof.
ABA Industries.
Yeah, you should
They do
probably-
a lot of, I'll get you the exact and Amber's full email and everything, get it to you guys.
Yeah, I would like to get, if you could
Yes.
just tell, how do you say that again? Do you know how it's spelled?
It was ABBI.
EBA?
ABA
Just
Industries.
construction? Industries?
Industries, yes. Let me see if I can get into my email real quick.
One cannot complain. Progress.
Oh, I think they're wanting to get their name out there a little bit.
So Dennis, go ahead and go through your notes and I'll answer your questions.
Okay, so quickly, I've not heard anything regarding the 5-year master plan work. I mean, it's just been like a dead silence.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I did report to the board that Austin Hostetler's father passed away and he's dealing with the estate. We started back up about 10 days ago.
Okay, I just haven't heard anything, so.
Yep, he had me send a couple updates to the contact list, and he's working on that now and getting that rolling.
Okay. Do we have anything, I know August is coming up for budget review. Where are we at on that?
I have to have all the final numbers into the auditor's office Monday, and I already have it done, just a matter of emailing it Monday.
Okay. So
What's
we're,
the actual date we're supposed to meet with the council?
I don't have that with me. It'll be in August.
Okay.
okay. So to go back to kind of address the situation that Bob, they don't know who we are. They just think we're people. I would
Mhm.
really like to see us to get some staff T-shirts that would say
Yes.
Heflin Park on the front, maybe staff on the back. And I think we need the same thing at Dunn as well.
Bright colors,
Just something that sets us apart.
bright.
Thank you.
Yeah, because that's a great idea. And I don't know why we haven't done it yet.
I don't think it would be, they don't have to be like polo shirts or something real expensive, but just T-shirts that only we have access to.
So like the shirt Bobby's wearing, but with staff on the back with a different color.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
just
that
something like that.
if somebody has
Yellow or
a,
orange.
somebody has a problem, they'll know who to come to.
Okay.
And I think if you have a shirt like that on, one, for customers, it identifies who you are. And two, for situations like you have with law enforcement that comes down there, if you have an issue, they know that they're not talking to just Joe Schmo. It's at least some kind of identifier that you are a park employee.
Front and back staff in all caps.
Yeah.
Very visible.
One more time, Dennis. I couldn't hear.
Front and back, and then large block lettering staff on both sides.
And I really think we need to have that done too, because when I go up there,
Yeah.
like I'm there, I know, because if Adam's there, because I know Adam, but nobody else knows who Adam is.
Gotcha.
Nobody else knows who his workers are. And you don't know even who to go to if you have an issue at Dunn.
Okay. So I got staff shirts for Dunn and Heflin, bright colors, logo on the front with staff on the front and back as well.
Right.
Yeah.
The only one bad thing about us is they get dirt, the bright colors. I mean, we wear the gray out there, I understand, but the bright colors, they're gonna get dirty quick and they're gonna stain real bad for us at work.
Well, I think what they're talking about, Bobby, is not necessarily for the park employees, but for the staff like yourself and Catherine and Adam to have these shirts,
I mean, I'm just.
or the people picking up garbage,
Yeah.
so people know their staff.
I mean, you can still wear if you're working during the day, just keep those staff shirts, something to change into when you're actually changing your hat. Now you're working at Heflin, put that shirt on.
Yep, that's why I took it.
I mean, you may be working already at Heflin with that on, but that's kind of the intent is that. So I'm hoping that it's not gonna alleviate everything, but at least does give us the ability we know who people are.
It's a great suggestion.
Yeah, so I think it needs to be done.
Yeah, I agree.
Another thing that at Heflin while I was there is, do we need some type of extra storage facility type barns?
It's already being addressed, Dennis. I purchased got a great price on a 20 by 20 carport, and we're doing building a little tile next to the garage for storage for our
Hang on
equipment.
just a second real quick. We have a staff member that's kind of shaking their head and kind of,
No, I'm good.
I mean, is there an issue? Because if there's an issue, I need to know.
No, it's
And I don't
fine.
know if there's an issue if you're gonna do that. I mean, obviously you have something.
It's fine.
Okay, this is kind of stuff that it's like, I'm trying to help out, and it's
Oh,
like,
I get that. I get that. I'm fine.
okay, I just, when you're shaking your head, like, I just don't know what to
If you
think
have
of
something
that.
to talk about, let's do it outside the meeting.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know.
Let's do it
So-
outside the meeting.
So you're working on something.
Yes, the carport's already been purchased.
Okay. All right. Okay, that was kind of this like business that's not really underneath the park per se. Does anybody have any other new business that they need to
Rich,
discuss?
if you said it's 20 by 20,
Yes, sir.
which was 18, not giving locations. Okay.
I want to address the issue that people are coming in and there's nobody there. And camping.
Okay, when did you come in? Do you know?
I was there on, Monday.
Yeah, there's nobody gonna be there on a Monday.
Nobody was there on Monday.
With if hours of operation, Monday and Tuesday, they have no on-site hours, but they do monitor the calls, which
How
unfortunately,
do we know when people come in there when you're not there? We don't, do we? No, there's no way. Did we ever have a system where people identified when they came in there? Did they have to call to come in there?
well, they're
Now,
supposed,
something I could do is drive up there on Monday,
Well, that's your day off.
That's not in your contract.
but
Put a trail cam there.
Yeah. Good suggestion.
Put a trail cam there. You'll see license plates going in there. Somebody tell you, I didn't get here till today. I mean, check the film.
well, I would like to get,
Motion activated.
where I can get it to go to my phone.
That's correct. That's correct.
there probably is some cell service out there that we probably could have some type of camera, like not a ring camera, but
You would have
something
to have
along those
Wi-Fi.
lines.
There's ways to
I
do
have
it.
cameras, I have
There's
an
ways to do it.
indoor, outdoor camera I can put up out there.
When you get back, Rich, we'll look at that, okay?
Yes,
So,
sir.
Jim, to Monday and Tuesday, no, they're not there, but they are supposed to monitor the phone for phone calls. Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m. Thursday, 5 to 7. Friday, 4 to 8. Saturday, 3 to 8. Sunday, 10 to 2.
No way, there's no way we can identify a unit being in there, like you say, unless we have cameras. If we had cameras, then we could identify people coming in and camping.
Cameras aren't a bad thing for a lot of reasons.
That's right.
Liabilities, I mean,
So we'll look at that.
Can you look into that, Rich, please?
Yes, sir.
Me and Richie done talked about that.
Okay, let's get it done.
How many people were up there?
There were two,
Camping or just
camping.
camping?
Yeah.
like you said, it can actually notify your phone when it sees something.
Right. They have cameras that
I
automatically,
don't think-
like ding my phone
Yeah.
whenever somebody comes through.
Okay.
We need that.
That'll be gate out there.
We'll have to discuss. I mean, closing the gate, I mean, if somebody wants to drive out there and fish on a Monday afternoon, you're not gonna charge them because they're not camping, but they can fish, but if we close the gate, you can't use the park.
No.
Well, and then you may lose some revenue, because if they go there and the gate's closed, because we're not manning it, they may go
Right.
somewhere else.
And not only
Like I
that,
said, a camera tells us,
they don't
when they
mandate
got
they're out, they
there-
don't mandate they're out there Sunday evening either.
So right now, we can't deal with the situation, but we're working on the
Okay.
situation.
Let's go with that.
So I'll just start going off some of the park stuff. Anderson Falls, I know you had talked about you had to get a third bid up there for the restroom.
Yes, so that company that came in and did the shelter house looked at that as well, so I kind of held off a little bit, but that was a little beyond their scope.
Okay.
So we're back to not really square zero, but I did reach out to your friend, Chuck,
Yeah,
and he's gonna make an appointment when I get back to go up and look at it.
okay,
Anybody have any,
He said he lives out that way,
okay.
so
anybody have any other issues with Anderson Falls that we know of?
there's 2 ash trees that I'm gonna contract to be taken out.
Some ash trees, okay.
Who do you use?
For tree removal? Frank's, Ron, Schroeder Brothers, I have a list of about 6 of them. Those are the 3 off the top of my head.
Frank's is really important for me.
Dave is one of the best people I've ever dealt with.
Okay.
Okay, any other concerns, issues with Anderson Falls?
Nope.
Azalea Park, anybody have any concerns or issues with Azalea?
Yeah, there's a neighbor living down there that's called me and said, "Hey, can I be your eyes and ears for this park?" And I said, "Yes, sir."
Oh,
And he is so happy that we took it over mowing and cleaning it up, and he said it's so much better.
Okay. All right, Clifford, I hate to ask you this, and I know you've been
Yeah,
busy.
the rock was picked up today because Leslie was out last week and didn't pick it up, but it got picked up today.
Okay, so it's hopefully on its way at some
Yep.
point?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Dunn Stadium, BMX pickleball, the pickleball courts, we already discussed this, they're now open. Like I said, we did not
Well,
receive.
and I just want to explain to the board that I got a call, and I told Dennis this on the phone. I got a call shortly before this meeting from the commissioner's office, essentially from Tony, apologizing that he did not handle that well. And he wanted to apologize to each and every one of you.
Good start.
I got a cuss in that morning. I pulled up there and, guys, you're not supposed to be on here. I took a cussing.
It's ridiculous. And we didn't know it. And I thought about driving up there, but then when I literally was gonna go up there and said, we're not supposed to be on it, but
Then
then,
I called Richie and I was like, what's going on?
but then my wife said, well, the post right here says from Tony London, it's good to go. It's, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
There's, just so you know, there's a few issues that Case must fix. There was one that they told us about that they didn't know how they were gonna fix it because they had to do, one of the posts for the nets is leaning 3 to 4 inches, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Richie,
I'm
so
not,
you
we're not
know-
gonna pay, close to $750,000 and not have
So
it
you
fixed.
know, the court that you're talking about, they have it closed down with orange tape. They were out there working on it, they finally got the people off of it to go in there and work on that. So, the far right. the
Which will
very
be court
back one,
12.
Okay, that is closed off for right now.
Okay, so that was the one that I had the biggest concern with.
So they were doing something, that's all I can tell you, and it's closed down.
Rich, if there are further issues with this, I want you to let me know. The owner of
Absolutely.
Case is my best friend. So,
I am doing a walkthrough, sometime Monday. They're gonna let me know what time, so we can address everything that I think that's, an issue.
okay,
And I will forward that report to all of you.
okay.
And then at some point, they're gonna have an official ribbon cutting, right?
Yes, Tony's all for it. The rest of the commissioners could care less.
All right. That's
Does that
okay.
sound familiar?
Yeah.
I,
And then, are we,
Not surprising.
well, let me rephrase that. They don't want to do anything big.
okay, that makes sense. Are we closing the gates there at night now?
It would be redundant because the fence on the east side is only 4 foot tall.
People who jump the fence.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we secure, do the restrooms have locks on them?
Yes,
Yeah.
Are we now locking them?
no.
No,
I thought we were.
we started to, then we,
Go out there.
The
They
police.
sit out there at night.
They come by and use them at night.
Well, we've had vandalism in the restrooms. They've tore up stuff and we were kind of talking about maybe that may not be beneficial if they're gonna go out there. and
they
tear up the
ramped up
restroom.
their patrols of the park.
Yeah, they're out there.
Okay, all right,
It's the we're worried about the bathrooms.
all right. The last time we talked, BMX had a drainage issue in the low-lying section, and there's gonna be some discussion about possible helping them out there. I know everybody's been busy, everybody's been on vacation, 4th of July. Have we discussed anything?
I
remote? I know
did
you were gonna
discuss
get-
it with Dwight from the highway department.
You have?
So I can't get Danny to get out there. He's the nicest guy in the world, but he's got way too many fires to put out. So Dwight's gonna come up and look at it when I get back.
Okay. There was a water irrigation line that burst at Dunn, and you've got that resolved, correct?
Now there's a new one, right, Bobby?
What are you talking about? We have two of them. We've had 6 so far this year.
Okay, but you fixed them though?
No.
Oh, they're not fixed yet? Okay, all right. And then, do you have any information on when they might do the crosswalk for Dunn?
He had, the deadline was July 15th.
July
When I
15th?
get back, I will check with,
Is that
AAA.
AAA?
Bryce. Yeah, I'll check with Bryce when I get back.
Okay.
So should that be an item that we look at when we're looking at capital improvements for next year? Should we address the irrigation system?
Yes. Me
So-
and Bobby talked about that the other day, that we may have to start digging up a main line because most of what breaks is from the infield all the way out to the outfield as we're having the majority of our breaks. And it may be time just to replace those lines.
Okay,
And the way it was put in was not conducive to fixing it. They laid the pipes on top of each other.
Yeah, they're like this.
so what we might have an opportunity here. We've been told multiple times that they'd like to have turf out there. It's costing us business, blah, blah, blah. We get estimates in on replacing all of the irrigation system and compare that with what we have to spend on turf. I know that turf's a lot more expensive, but this is just a great example of how turf could help us. So we need to talk about that when you're looking at capital.
Are you
Yes,
talking
sir.
turfing the whole field
Yes.
or just?
Just where you have grass now.
It'd be nice to turf the infield, but
What
Minimum,
causes,
yes.
what causes you, when you cancel a tournament, what causes you the most problems when you have to cancel a tournament?
Infield.
It's the infield. I think the infield should be
Call,
turf and the
call.
outfield stays grass. Cause it'd be,
No,
we'd
I'm
be
on a
more
Zoom
apt to
call.
get the turf field done than we would the whole
Let's
thing.
talk about that when we get capitals together, let's have a discussion.
Agreed.
Okay.
And Chuck, to that note, that's something we should put into our 5-year plan.
Yes.
Yeah. That's definitely a to-do. Do you have any interior work update for the pole barn?
I have 2 of the 3 bids for the concrete work, and the city is getting ready to release everything to us. So we're good to go there.
So
Most of the
maybe-
inside stuff's gonna be done in the winter anyway, when we can work on it, when we have time.
Okay. Anybody have any other issues at Dunn, BMX, pickleball at this point? No? Okay. Did the homeless person at E-Town get resolved?
We haven't had any problems lately.
Is he still there?
I haven't seen him. Have you, Bobby?
No.
Good, okay. All right. You've seen it?
I have a store, but
Oh,
that's something.
Okay, that's at the store.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I've run them off from there too, so.
Okay, Grammar Park is our next park that's gonna be getting new playground equipment. You said
Grammar
you-
Park, yes, it's already started.
Okay, and so that, obviously they took the old stuff out.
Yes, all the old stuff was taken out.
So Grammar Park, so Petersville is done except for mulch.
Mulch. Yep.
And was there something?
I haven't
else?
inspected it yet because they finished it after I left, but I will be doing that as soon as I get back.
Okay,
So
so,
you guys put the caution tape on all the equipment out there so people, at Petersville,
What equipment you got out there?
Can you say it again? I couldn't hear you.
out there.
Oh, okay, all right.
What?
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Did you put a caution tape on the playground equipment at Petersville so people wouldn't use it?
Yes, because we had to have the concrete cure, but it should be good now.
Well, I went by there the other day and it's all taken off and laying on the ground.
I'm sure.
Just thought I'd let you know. I didn't know where it was a concrete cure or whether they weren't supposed to use it because we didn't have the mulch in. I didn't know which way it was.
Yeah, it was the concrete cure.
did
Okay.
you, Did you get my text earlier with the pictures of the shelter house?
Yep, they said I talked to my mow crew and they said there was no trash there Tuesday.
Like I
But that
told
they
that
would pick,
person,
they
we
would, they
we
would
don't
pick
go
it
up
up.
there every day. So if they go up there and there's nothing there, and then someone does something an hour later or the next day, we may not see it. So it's.
Well, there's no way we can visit all the parks
I
every
know,
day.
that's why I tried to explain to her.
Oh,
She was
gotcha.
satisfied, so I was trying to explain to her, we could be out there one day, and if they were there an hour later and trashed the place, we wouldn't know about it until, the next week
Gotcha,
probably.
gotcha.
So I don't know how else we resolve that at this point, so.
Well, we did a lot of work up there and even Dave called me, said it looks a lot better.
Yeah, they took the split rail fence out and looks a
I
lot
drove out
better
there, it
without
looks
that.
really good right now. And
Cut a bunch of the trees down.
that lady said too, that the park looked great.
Yeah.
Except for the trash, but
Yep,
like I
yeah,
said,
but
that
we'll,
happens all the time up there.
but they're gonna go pick it up tomorrow. I called them already.
All
So
right,
thank you for sending me that picture.
yes, I just got it through Facebook Messenger, so.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, big thank you to Bobby, Tony, who's not here, and our crew for taking care of that water line issue on 4th of July up there at Heflin. That's huge. I mean, those guys were there till 10:30 and 11 o'clock at night, getting that thing up and running. So
More like 12 o'clock at night.
at midnight even,
It's a
We
long
were there
day.
from 9 to midnight,
yeah.
What line was it, sir?
main line,
Wow. Water line.
water line,
It's private, please.
the one that goes from the well down.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
That's all I can
So-
tell you. The
So we
main
still
line.
have a lot of work to do on that because we're gonna have to go up and bury the line again, but it's functional right now,
For
so.
our park guests, it was huge because they were gonna be, they
Oh,
would be able,
they were, trust me, I heard it.
yeah, I mean, that's,
City water?
I'm sure, no, it's well water.
Oh, you got a pump up there?
so that was huge. I mean, really huge.
That's what supplies the whole park, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
has been that way forever.
Okay.
So thank you. I don't know, that doesn't seem like just say thank you is enough because that was the above and beyond. I mean, to work on a holiday weekend like that. And
Well, where'd we go? 6 feet down, I standing in it and still.
Yeah.
that's crazy. But thank
Well,
you.
luckily, to be honest with you, we were lucky. We had rented a mini X to do some other stuff and we still had it.
Well, that helps.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich informed me of this, but thank you. I can't, there's no way I can express, I know how important that was for our guests there, and hopefully they saw that and can reciprocate, hey, they're up there trying to make us happy.
Well, I mean, I think Richie got his butt chewed a couple times too about no water. I mean, cause I got mine chewed because there was no water. I'm like, we're working on it.
Yeah, people are amazing sometimes. I don't know what they expect. It's like,
And then they got mad cause why would we leave the restrooms open so they can go in there and mess them up?
Yeah.
And I went and locked them.
there's no water.
Right.
They want it all standing
They were
in there.
mad about that.
And
I was like, sorry.
stuff happens, so. All right, Rich, you had mentioned that you approached Tony about the wood pile
I did.
and some type of compensation. Have you
Yep,
gotten anything back on
There's
that?
actually more wood there than I thought. He said there's probably $14,000 worth of wood there.
Ain't no way.
No way. How many ricks? How many ricks?
I don't know.
We go by ricks. When you want a price, you know by ricks, not piles.
Tell me, Rich, you think so?
I don't know, but when I calculated it up, it was like $2,500 at the most
And it's,
in rigs.
10 ricks?
I'm sure there's a couple grand.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
14 grand? Not even
Well,
close.
We'll talk about that when you. get
yeah, that's
back.
coming, that's, okay, so folks, we're having growing pains at the park.
Yeah.
We have a former employee that had everybody calling her cell phone number. So she's now in return giving my cell phone number out. I've talked to at least 20 people in the last 5 days.
really.
And in my discussions with these customers, I get the feeling and I've got it right here, it's almost like it's their park.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been kind of running that way for a while. So when you have someone that has a different spin on things, it makes it difficult for them because people are used to it being a certain way.
Yeah.
So we're experiencing this. Has this person continued to come to the park?
Here's what happens on Sunday. Whenever she leaves, I've been told about an hour after she's gone, she comes in.
I don't know what it takes for a trespass order. You actually have to have an issue, or if you can just trespass somebody. But I'm getting to the point to where when I get a text and say, I'm tired of dealing stuff for you people. It's like, well, I wouldn't give my cell phone number out for starters if that was the case. But she's texted me 4 or 5, I'm not responding back because I'm not getting into this baiting game.
Right.
She's looking for me to say something and I'm not playing that game. So I don't know what to do. She continues to create things. Like I got 2 calls 2 days ago, same person. It was the person and a partner. And then the last text I got, I'm so sorry to bother you. I'll never do it again. That was the last text I got. It's like, they didn't get what they wanted out of me. So it's like,
But it's her doing.
yeah. So I don't know what to do. I don't know if there's anything we can do, but that's what's been
Well, I
going on.
will talk to Jim. I just put a note down here to find out what it takes to get a trespass order.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's what we need. I hate doing that. I don't like doing that. I don't think it's,
Well,
She's forcing the hand.
but there's something's got to break, and I'm tired of dealing with that.
She's causing too much grief.
Yeah.
Because what she's doing on Sundays is coming in and collecting her half on that money that Tony said that would.
What about her money?
What?
Say that again, please,
She
Bobby.
is coming in collecting her half on the wood that Tony sells. I've seen money go through hands.
Yeah, that's not.
Well. Okay.
let us know what Jim says.
Yes, sir.
So I feel like this board failed you guys as far as, now when I say our board, I feel like it's on me a little bit. We said, we want you to manage Heflin Park, but then we just said, go manage it without much guidelines or references or anything like that. So I took this rules and guideline sheet. I think you already got a copy. Kind of basically it reiterated the brochure plus some added things. We also have an issue, I think, with the brochure and our shelter house verbiage on cost. It's not real clear, and especially one part.
Whenever you explain it to them, then they understand.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense when I read it off the brochure. So I'm asking you to use this as kind of like your guide and reference for running the show up there. And so there is one thing, and of course, Rich leaves. This is one thing that I've gotten these now. Unfortunately, you lost the phone, and that's really created a problem. And that's one of the reasons why I'm getting so many phone calls too.
Don't think it didn't bother me because I went nuts that day. You can ask her.
I know, it is what it is, and we've all lost things before, but that's half of my things have been referencing. Okay, so Rich,
Yes.
I need to get this straight in my head because we contradict ourselves all the time with this.
Okay.
Do we or do we not reserve campgrounds at Heflin
Well-
Park?
So
So
the
here's what-
last board meeting, we said we were trying some things with reservations, that if somebody came in and wanted a reservation, they had to pay up front with card.
Okay,
So what we do is they pay one night.
okay, this is where it's hard to follow things when because if someone comes and says, I know they reserved the campsite, and it says right on your brochure that it's first come, first serve. So we're contradicting ourselves when we do this.
Either
It's-
are you aren't.
But-
We either are or we
then-
aren't,
then-
but
then
we
you
don't.
have this. Chuck comes down there and puts a chair down there, right? Dave comes and moves it over to here, and that's where Chuck was. How am I gonna know that's where Chuck was if he moves that chair?
So the way that would be handled, like when we go and we hunt down at the DNR spot in Vernon, you have to physically be there with all of your stuff. You can't just have someone sit there and save a spot for you.
And this is where I'm getting the phone call. Well, she let us do that before. We've always done that. We could put a wood pile on the campsite just to claim it. And that's what we're getting.
There in person with all your stuff.
So now we've added a layer. So we gotta make a decision on what we're doing, because it's very confusing for people, because I've been taking the phone calls. Well, I've been told that we can reserve them, but your brochure says it's first come, first serve, so which is it? And how are you reserving it?
That's what I'm saying. If they reserve it, they pay one night.
Okay, then how do they claim it?
I'll put a sign up that says reserved for such and such. And, I mean, there's times that it may fall over, cause it's hard to push that
Oh,
down
yeah,
in the
yeah,
rocks.
All the sites are numbered, I assume.
Yes,
Sir?
sir.
All the sites are numbered,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
then they should have a number.
On the back of the sign, it has a number.
Well, no, it says the date, their name, and what site number it
Okay,
is.
that's adequate.
So, that's what the sign says.
So I'm walking away here from this evening with, so the brochure is wrong in a way, because it says first come, first serve. So if someone, because I'm like I said, text message,
Clarify it that first payment.
I don't even know if I want to do that. We're just gonna have to change the brochure next year, because it makes it confusing. I guess just keep on doing what you're doing.
And confuse
then-
people.
Well, I'm not.
You know what, I've had more people tell me they enjoy that. You know, they pay their first payment and all that, but I tell them, you have 24 hours. If you don't show up 24 hours, it's gone,
Okay.
and I'm not giving a refund.
So we need to decide, should we be one or the other? And if we are taking reservations, what are the risks involved with that? Obviously, the big one is we
I'm
don't
sure.
want people living there.
Yeah.
No,
So
2 weeks.
We have that already in the brochure.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
we allow 2 weeks?
2 weeks, and then they have to take a week off.
Continuous?
2 weeks continued, then
2
you gotta
weeks
take a week
continuous.
out,
And then you have to leave.
That's in the brochure.
It's always been that way.
We should evaluate that.
Well, 2 weeks would be, that's not homeless type. I mean,
Well, what I'm getting at is just allowing other people access to the sites.
no.
what do you mean?
Like, if we shorten the stay, maybe that would if we're turning people away, would that make a difference? I don't know.
I think we have a lot of campers at Heflin that are consistent campers there.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
We don't do we get the occasional camper? Yes, we do.
Okay.
Now,
But I think we
it's
have a
like
lot of
while I was up
people
there
that-
Last night, I had a guy come through and I asked him. He stayed just last night. He was coming through. I asked him, I said, how did you hear about us? And he said he found it online and he called Lisa. Because on Facebook,
It has her
there it is, has her
You
number.
gotta get that.
Well,
page taken
I
down.
can't, that's her page and I can't get it off.
Right, so.
We can't report it as fraud.
I've done that. And they come back that it is not fraud.
I don't know how to get rid of it. I've started our own page.
That's
but-
another question for our attorney, Rich. That's another question for our attorney, Jim.
What,
Ask Jim if there's a legal way we can send her a letter demanding that she takes the page down, and if not, we're gonna sue her? She has the administration login, so, but it's our park, so I'm wondering if there's a way to take her to court and force her to do that.
That'd be the only way. I mean, we just can't, she's not gonna do it unless we do something else.
So those are the two
Well,
questions.
So I wrote down for Jim, legal way of taking down the Facebook account associated with,
Lisa,
Heflin Park.
Yes.
because I've tried to put one up. Didn't you put one up?
I have one that's managed by me.
Okay.
got
but
about
then
5 or
Leslie
6
tried-
things on it.
Leslie's tried to put one up and it will not let neither me or Leslie put a new one up.
I've got,
Let's see what Jim says.
Yep, got it.
Okay.
He's a good
Okay.
guy.
So for this year, we're doing it the same.
we're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing, I guess.
So then I think this is a case where we need to listen to the staff suggestions. You know, you're there every day. So,
See, cause see, I have a paddle group that's coming in the 1st of August. This is the first time they're gonna ever be at our park. And I'm trying to help them out. You know, I mean, they've invited everybody on the board to come out. Also, they're gonna cook chili that day and feed every camper there. I mean, you know, they're from Indianapolis. They're gonna float the river, you know.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's just, it's hard to convey that when you've already publicly stated that it's first come, first serve. And then all of a sudden midstream, you start saying you're doing reservations and nobody knows that except for some. And now the frequent flyers do, because that's what Lisa was doing. She would stick a chair out there and say it's reserved and she'd save it for her buddy.
well.
So that's what we were having.
I think it should be one or the other.
Well, I know there were several people. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a guy from Tennessee call me and cuss me out and told me he wanted site number 1 and he didn't care what he had to do, but he was gonna get site number 1. I said, sir, you're not getting site number 1. Somebody's already in there already. Well, you're gonna make them move. I said, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's silliness, and that's what we.
Lisa, then it was, well, Lisa,
This is the first
Not
year
Lisa.
that we've got new management,
Yes,
so
like I said, we have
we're
growing
gonna
pains.
see this right now.
Yeah.
This is
but
gonna be a learning process all season.
Once we set the tone though for how we're gonna run this place, it'll get a lot better.
Yeah,
Just
but
right now, it's not.
Just, you are okay with this, correct?
yeah.
There's nothing in here that, not in the brochure, but this is it's a good guide to have. If you have a question or, I mean, everything in here really is, just follow it.
I'm
Refer
not gonna
back
lie
to
to
it.
none of you. It's to the point that it's about pushing me and her away from her. Just wanting to step away.
So we're gonna deal with this lease issue. We're gonna
We're-
do
I
it.
mean,
That's,
You can see that we're trying to work on it. I mean, it's just like getting you paid. I kept saying you're gonna get paid. It may take a while, but eventually we gotta figure it out. We're gonna work on this too. Unfortunately, when we're working with any kind of governmental agency, you have to wait till they either meet, which is every 2 weeks or every month. And it just takes time to get stuff addressed.
We will get this handled.
Yeah.
So I just want to say something that what Chuck said that I agree with everybody, all the board's input here. I think that I'm gonna task Bobby with something else, if it's okay with you guys and Catherine, that, hey, let's take a note, let's get a notebook going with the goods and the bads so that this winter we can fix all the
That's true.
problems.
Yeah, like these are the common problems that we've had this season. So
Yes.
so we as a board can do something formally about it, so that we're not just talking about it. We're actually, here's our punch list of things we gotta fix. So as you're going
This
through the
work,
rest of this
this isn't
season,
working.
as you're going through the rest of this season, why don't you take some time to document some of the common things that you're having to deal with and share with the board?
I'll be straight honest with you. They're going in and I don't know if there's been any or updates. There was one on the laptop and I couldn't get it to come up. Richie may be able to see it. I can't. But, I know there was another report and, cause they told me about it and it was a good report. They're appreciating what's going on out there, that the park looks better, that they are happy that, what are you doing? They're not getting that no more.
Or just walking in.
Or just walking into their campers, you know, I mean, they're not getting that, they're getting to be able to sit down there, relax, not be bothered, you know. If I drive by, hey, Bobby, how you doing? I'll stop, I'll talk with them for a few minutes and then I'll go on. But they're enjoying it a lot better. They ain't got nobody up there.
But there's things that aren't going good that we need to address too. But if we log it and then say, hey, maybe this is the way to fix it even too, that way we have some data to work with.
That's a
That's
great
where I was going with
suggestion.
that.
Right.
Good suggestion.
Right.
And
but,
we'll
you
move
know,
with
I mean,
that. So just start tracking it if you can. And that way.
And the good stuff, Bobby, you know, too.
And the good stuff too. If there's something that's worked really well, we need to know that too.
I've been cussed, you know, about when the electric plug's not working. Okay, you know, what do you want me to do about it, you know?
I can't fix it right now. Yeah, I mean, it's,
And then the bad thing was that day that we were working on that water. I took, you know, cussing for no water and cussing for the electric. Hey, we're busy here.
I know. People are pretty amazing sometimes.
All right, so duly noted, Rich.
Yeah, okay. Are we gonna get him another phone?
That was something I had on my agenda here. So, I got kind of in trouble. So we got Bobby a new phone because the old one was 9 years old. Unfortunately, the phone was lost. That was through a repurpose, so that was only $260. Well, I got questioned on spending $260 on the phone by Pia. But Scott Mays stepped up and said, hey, he went through the process and everything. Well, a new phone is gonna be over $1,000.
Whoa. Right.
What I don't understand, why do we not have insurance on this phone?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Why do we not have insurance on it?
Well, I'm just telling you what,
Right. I mean, I just don't
I need a
understand
I have no say on the phone.
Right.
I have, all I can do is request. That's an
Are
IT
they
thing.
getting
I
a
don't know.
phone? Are we
Pardon
getting
me?
them a phone?
That's what I need to ask you guys. Are you okay with spending $1,000 for a new phone? I do not have it in my budget.
He needs a phone.
I
Get
I
him a
agree.
phone.
He needs a
How long
phone.
has he been without a phone?
3 weeks.
3 weeks a month?
That's too long.
Get him a phone.
Okay.
You said we don't have it in our budget?
No.
We'll take it on non-reverting.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we have money. I'm just saying that I don't have it in our regular budget.
Right, okay.
Use a non-reverting. Get him a phone.
It's been gone 3 weeks.
Get
Yep.
it.
It'll be ordered Monday.
That's part of his equipment.
And get it the same number as Dennis.
Yeah.
All right, quickly. I know we've talked about the septic situation. Is there any update there whatsoever?
Totally on hold until we go to the council. Me and Kim are putting a plan together.
Okay, 50 amp service.
It's Tony's project. He's working on it.
All right. Shelter house support post.
As soon as we slow down, we're gonna get on it before it gets cold.
Okay. I would like to, when we redo the Heflin brochure, there's some things I'd like to change when it comes around to the shelter house areas. And there's a typo in there, something like, you just have to see it. It says like $40 or something. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it. I can pull it up. It's weird.
And I definitely want to change the picture.
I think it's supposed to be 400 maybe, and it just says 40 or something. I
Okay.
don't know. I'll have to.
We'll go through it with a fine tooth comb.
Sunday, both shelter houses, is that what you're talking about?
I'd have to pull, I don't know. I'd have to pull it up. I don't
I
know
think
what it
that's what
is.
it is. It does say 40.
Okay, Mount Healthy. We have any things going on there at Mount Healthy?
Nope.
You know, yeah. Newton Park. We talked about getting new signs for Newton Park.
Yep, we're working on them. It just takes time the way we're doing it.
Okay, and I even have an update now because I had a company that was donating labor and material for the Shelter House Foundation. Now they're saying they're doing the whole thing, so.
Yep.
Good for them. And that was my second part, new shelter house updates. Well, there you go.
Yep.
Anything in Owens Bend?
Now we got it pretty cleaned up now. The banks are getting a little out of hand. We got to get the yard arm out there to cut it down.
Okay. In case you didn't know, the playground equipment is up at Petersville. They had a big cleanup thanks to our friends at Toil Material Handling. They came out and tackled that jewel, and it does look much better.
Good.
And in addition, with the playground equipment, once we get it up and running, I think it'll help that park tremendously.
Ricky, what's your plan for the wood that's stacked out there at, Petersville?
I try to find somebody to take it. If not, I got to take it to the refuge over at the city.
Okay.
What?
You don't know anybody at Burns Wood that wants it?
I got one guy that said he wanted some, but he took like 6 logs.
Take it. I mean, that solves our problems of getting rid of it, so you can burn it,
Yep.
and use it and build a fort, I don't
Well,
care.
it saves us having to mess with it.
Right.
My take on it. Okay.
Have you heard anything about Rock Creek? I mean, they seem to be self-sufficient up
Looks
there?
pretty good.
Yep, they're great. I love them.
Okay. And then, Wayne Park, I haven't really heard anything about Wayne either.
Wayne is the same day we did Petersville, we went down there and cleaned that all up too. All the brush is out of the parking lot now. The trees that were blown over were cut up. So the highway department and us have been trying to combine and clean it up as best we can without spending too much money.
Okay.
I thought we was getting bids on getting some trees taken out. Where we at on that?
Well, yes, and I got rebucked by the commissioners, and we have probably pulled, I would say $8,000 off of that by cleaning it up with the highway department. It just took a while, and now we're just gonna have them rebid just to do the trees.
Okay, but so we did part of it, and then we're gonna have them
Yeah,
rebid.
we're gonna have them take all those trees down on that wood line.
Okay. Just wondered, I hadn't heard lately.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did not do that's kind of our parks. Does anybody have any other questions about parks or anything? I didn't do board member input. I kind of skipped over that. If we did, Jim, if you just want to start, you got anything?
Nothing, sir.
Chuck? Brian?
Wait a minute, question.
Yes.
Since we made a contribution of $2,000 for the new shelter house, where's it gonna go?
It's a good question.
Good question.
That is a good question.
Let us think about that. We'll come back.
That's a good point.
Maybe
Okay,
we can use that to cement in parking.
Cement what?
Parking in front of the shelter house.
Let's not decide that now. Let's.
We'll talk about it later.
Could you go back?
But
to
just a
your-
thought.
And say, hey, this is what's happening. What would you recommend doing?
I will not ask them that.
Okay.
There's opinions there we don't wanna talk about.
Okay, well, that's fine. Got
Oh,
you there.
you got people on your board like that too, huh?
Brian, do you have anything?
I do not.
Dave, you have a budget update?
I went through it, and you had to turn that into the commissioners, what, 3 or 4 weeks ago? Rich,
What's that?
our budget.
Yeah, it's the commissioners. Yes.
Yeah, we had to turn that in, and then, you're gonna give it to the council or on Monday?
Actually, it's already been inputted into the system. That's the way they're doing it now. But I gotta double check it Monday and finalize it. I just wanna make sure no mistakes. I can't get into it, even if I wanted to work on it this week, I couldn't. I can't, it gotta be on the county web.
Okay.
Any other new, old, current business that we did
I'd
not
like to say
discuss?
something, please.
Yes, you can.
My children have put a 360 on my phone. I know
Yeah,
all the time where my phone's at.
Life 360.
That's what I'm gonna do with mine.
Okay.
No, you ain't. I'm gonna put it on Find My Phone on my
Yeah.
iPhone.
That's just a suggestion.
But see, here, they said that they could not, ping the phone because it didn't have an iCloud. I call bullshit. Sorry, but you can ping a phone anywhere in the United States.
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yep.
What else?
No other business, new, old?
Nope, motion
Okay.
adjourned.
Oh, hang on, Thursday, August 7th is our next board meeting at 4:30 right here in the county council. If we have no further business, I'll make a
So
motion
moved.
to adjourn.
I so
Have Jim
moved.
as a second. Thank you all. Good night.
Been a lovely
Be
evening.
safe.
Talk to y'all Monday.